So we're here at the Hallam Centre in London this morning for the final Breathe Freely Roadshow in Construction of 2017. Breathe Freely is an initiative we've launched at BOHS aimed at reducing occupational lung disease in the UK. Overall for the nation, we're talking 13,000 deaths a year.
I came along for a number of reasons really. One, to sort of network within the industry and to pick up as many tips as I can. Picked up loads of useful information today. Great to see so many people in the room as well and see that focus on health.
The panel today was made of a good cross-section of people that can help and support people with respiratory hazards in the construction industry. So coming from HSE to actually clients like Tideway and myself from Skanska and an occupational health perspective, and then also we have the providers like RVT who are actually bringing solutions to the problems that people have with regard to respiratory health surveillance.
We're very pleased to be involved with Breathe Freely. We've worked with BOHS from the inception of the campaign and we think it's an excellent tool to get out there to let people know about the various hazards of working in the construction industry.
If you remember only one thing from my presentation, remember 100 to 1. For every fatality from an accident on a construction site, there's 100 people will die from a work-related ill health problem.
These sort of events, people are registering and coming, and they're only taking half a day. It's a nice breakfast, so you actually do encourage people to come and only give up, say, half their day, and then they actually get to engage with a very large cross-section of either peers or also the people within the panel.
We actually want to talk about the controls that we can put in place, because at the end of the day, if we don't change practices on site and we just have lots of nice literature and websites, then it's a waste of time.
Our mission in business is to protect long-term health on site, so this whole campaign is really tied in with what we're in business for, and it's our opportunity to give back to the industry our knowledge and experience that we've built up over the 25 years that we've been in business.
The effects of dust or fume that you breathe in today, you won't know the effects of that until possibly 20, 30 years time. So then to try and trace that back to a single root cause and then hold people to account would be very difficult and quite possibly impossible.
When you look at David from Skanska, what I wanted to hear was, he's gone away and he's actually trying to put this stuff into practice. So I wanted to hear about warts and all really, about the experiences and the learning from that.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be here and talk about sort of the trials and tribulations we've had at Skanska to try and get this right. Over the last 2 or 3 years, we've evolved significantly how we actually manage the respiratory health surveillance, learnt a lot. So the essence of my talk today was to share that learning with everyone in the audience, rather than having to go through the pain of everything we've been through. So it was very much just taking them through that journey. So when we find someone with a below par, we don't say it's work, because we can't prove that yet, but we're working at a system of, we send them an email saying, undertaken, with recommendations, hearing worse than it should be, lung function worse than it should be, ensure that you do an enhanced risk assessment on this person.
We've heard different points of view today, all very valid, and hopefully the people that came had a good learning opportunity and we'd take something away.
We've got policies and procedures, we've got guidance and standards. If we make sure that we're following those and we're doing everything the right way, then I do actually believe that we will be transformational.
We had a great panel looking at everything from regulation to the campaign materials to the clinical side of health and to the transformational work that a project like Tideway does.
What I was trying to do was obviously an opportunity to give a bit of an introduction to the Tideway programme. I mean, it's really getting off the ground now.
I think the more support we have on these large infrastructure projects, the more we can raise that bar and we can bring health and well-being in line with safety. So that's got to be something that, a legacy perhaps that Tideway would leave as part of that transformation.
I spend a lot of my time in the training room and you'll get asked direct questions. You've got to go through the theory, but putting that context behind it and then being able to provide people with practical solutions. People go out of the room, they're more likely to be enthused by the training and speak to others, so we spread the message, and they're more likely to use these things. They'll actually have practical solutions to take out on site.
I'd like to say I've learnt quite a bit as well, so we sit on the panel or we present and we're held up as experts, but hearing the experiences of others, always an opportunity to learn.
We're really pleased that over 100 partner and supporting organisations have signed up over the last couple of years for Breathe Freely, including some of the largest UK clients and contractors.
Events like today are excellent about raising awareness, and we can't do enough of that. We've got to start somewhere, and raising awareness amongst the industry is the best way to start.
A survey taken some time ago revealed that only 2.8% of the workforce were fully aware of the dangers of silica dust. Sure, it's improved over time, but I think we'd all agree that increasing knowledge and understanding is really key amongst the construction industry.
There is a way to implement basic principles to make sure hazard control is actually effective.
Really, as part of Breathe Freely, what we want to see is more and more of the industry, yes, become aware, but start to use some of the control measures that aren't rocket science. There's rocket science in the development of them, but actually putting them in place is quite straightforward. You can do it, and we want you to join us and be part of the solution.